his name is...
It's John Bunday. It is Thursday, 13th February, and game number 10 is finished, and it is Ghost in the Shell on the PS1. So game number 9 was Illusion of Gaia, which, because it was one of my 12 RPGs, has its own separate video. So that was not part of this. Okay, yeah, so Ghost in the Shell is a popular movie anime thing. You know, we've got the film that was immensely popular back in the 90s, and then spun a sequel, and then a couple of seasons, and then also like rebuild films and things. Anyway, it's a popular franchise. I don't think I heard about the PS1 game until long after the fact, and I just thought I'll give it a try. So it's one that's been on my list to play for a little while, because thanks to my PlayStation Classic, I finally gave it a go. So when you play it, it feels like you're actually playing an episode of the anime, because it's got fully animated cutscenes and voiced by the English cast, which is pretty cool actually. And you play it as the Rookie. The game is all done from the Tachikomas, which is like little kind of mini tanks that can strafe around quite quickly and easily. So you're not like just moving along, plodding along. You know, you actually got quite a lot of mobility, and you can climb up walls and things, which is great. The game is 12 stages. You have no lives and no checkpoints, and each stage ends with a boss. So by level 2, having to redo the stage over and over again, which isn't that difficult. Once you know the placement of all the enemies, you can just kind of breeze through it. But if you do the boss, you've got to repeat. And then also the very last level has some platforming over bottomless pits, which is just like, oh Jesus Christ. So I can't really recommend this game on real hardware unless if you want to quadruple the time spent playing the game. But if you can do things like save states, then obviously not just to cheese the game, but if you can save just before the boss, and bear in mind, you do not get your health back when you get to the boss, so you may want to redo the stage anyway to try and do better, to have more health and be able to have more grenades to go up against the boss with. So it's kind of like a risk-reward kind of thing. But when you've gone through the stage so many times and keep dying to the boss, it's just like, ugh, yeah, so yeah, like I say, like for me, because if they were to re-release it now, I think they would include that kind of quality of life feature where they would like put a checkpoint in for the boss at least, I feel. But otherwise, it is, I think, a flawed but great game. I mean, one of the things as well is because the Tachikomas can walk on walls, like you'll be moving around, next thing you know, suddenly you're starting to walk up a wall and your viewpoint is now the floor. And it's like, hang on, I'm shooting that thing over there. So then you have to jump off, and then like, so it's cool you can walk on walls, incredibly cool, walk on the ceiling and all that, but when we're not trying to do it, it can be a complete pain in the ass. And also with that platforming section I mentioned before, like if you're not careful, because you want to probably jump at the last moment, so you'll try and get as close to the edge as you can, but then you'll find that the jump won't work probably because you started walking over the edge, and so you're jumping that way instead of jumping like, anyway, so yeah, but luckily that only really happens once. But otherwise, yeah, I think it's definitely worth a try. I mean, there's no way this is probably ever going to get re-released, so you know, you have to either pick up an original copy or have a way of sticking on like an emulator or something, or a mini console. But yeah, it's a game I think if you enjoy the anime, I think it's worth checking out, even if it's just for like the cutscenes. So yeah, it is Monday, February 17th, and game number 11 is finished, and it is Wonder Dog on the Mega CD. Ignore the window sounds. So this is a game that was picked for the Mega CD Appreciation Society show that I do with a couple of other YouTubers. So the second game that we're covering is Wonder Dog, which was picked by Martin, aka Evesham Gamer, well, the Evesham Gamer. And yeah, so it's a game which I think I must have heard of it before, but I never played it until now. And it is a mascot platformer, in which you play a dog which has been sent to Earth from another planet, and you end up finding your way back to overthrow an evil dictator. And yeah, it's a very solid platform mascotter. Mascotter? I think. Sorry, mascot platformer. I'm feeling a bit tired at the moment. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stage variety in regards to locations, but the actual gameplay itself is the same throughout. There's no like change up in how the stages play. Your weapon is like you throwing these stars which kind of arc their way across the screen. So depending on how long you hold down the A button for will affect how far they go or how high and all that kind of stuff. And you also have like a hat that means that you can kind of control like your descent speed as well. So, you know, some platforming there. There's also a couple of like secret stages, like one-off kind of levels, just to give a bit of extra variety. Like there's one within the very first zone, because each different area is like zones, but then there's like levels within those. And the game works off a password system, so that you have to actually clear a zone to get the next password, but the secret levels don't have their own. But there is a level skip cheat as well, so that if you find yourself partway through a zone, you can always get yourself way back if you use the cheat, because you know, we're adults, we have families, we have shit to do. So yeah, but I definitely cleared through every single level. It's just, you know, when you're most of the way through, like say if it's 2 or 3 or 3 or 4, like, you know, you want to get back to where you were rather than have to redo the same bosses over and over and over again. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely worth trying. I don't know how much it goes for because I just burnt a copy, but yeah, I mean, it's colourful. I enjoyed the music, especially in like the second and third zones. It's kind of cool funky jazz sound. Oddly though, there was no audio for like the final cutscenes. There was for the staff credits, but nothing for when you overthrow the dictator. But anyway, but yeah, till next time. It is Thursday, February 20th, and game number 12 is beaten, and it is Strikers 1945 on the PC. So this is a game that was picked for, I'm not sure if it'll be probably will be the latest episode as of this gets aired, because of how many more games I add on to this. Anyway, of the Radish and Bundy retro chat show. And my webcam's going weird again. Yeah, so this is a shmup / bullet hell game, and yeah, so I set to unlimited continues, a set amount of lives you can get, and I have no qualms because once you hit level 5, if you have to use continue, it boots you right back to the beginning of that stage. So to try and actually complete the game, and I've actually played through with 3 of the different planes you can use or pick from. Sorry, I was on the final boss of the 4th one, but its special attack is not as powerful, and when you keep dying and you have to rely on the special attacks, yeah, I couldn't beat it, and it's getting late, and I just need to do the washing up and go to bed. But definitely worth a try. It was a lot of fun. Definitely worth playing if you are into this genre, but definitely stick on the things that I said to have a more enjoyable time. But great graphics, great soundtrack, so yeah, definitely worth a try. It is Sunday, 2nd of March, and game number 14 is finished. And it is GTA 4, Grand Theft Auto 4, on the PC. So this is a game that I actually started back in December, and I've been playing it off and on for the last 4 months, I guess. So yeah, I've never played GTA 4 before, and I've played 3 Vice City and San Andreas. I've been holding off on playing 4 for a little while because they don't have any checkpoints between missions. The other games don't, but I wasn't wanting to play an open world game where I would have to restart missions but I had deliberately said that I wouldn't play some other types of open world games like the Saints Row series until I played GTA 4 because like those games are apparently considered more like fun, like goofy fun. So I wanted to play the serious one, the 4 first. And people who play 5 say that the controls aren't as good, or at least the car mechanics or something isn't as good as 4. So also I wanted to play that first. Yeah. Anyway, 5 played it. So now I know what it's like to live as an immigrant in America. Anyway. So what do I think of the game? Yeah, I mean, I really did enjoy it. I did feel that it dragged a bit in the last third, just purely because the game was just so long, like so many missions, and whenever like a new contact would just show up, I'm like, ugh. But if I was playing this on release, I'd be like, great, I'm really getting my money's worth. So yeah. So I can see that people would have really loved it back in the day. And I mean, I had no issue with the controls. I mean, actually, they could have been better, but they were serviceable. Like I got through the game because as I play on PC, my version I think for some reason got upgraded at some point by Rockstar to being the complete edition. So I also have the DLC as well, which I'll play at some point soon, so that I could actually uninstall the game. But yeah, GTA 4. So for those curious, I went with the revenge ending. So if you play the game, you should know what that means. Yeah, I think it's definitely, you can probably get this game very cheap now, and like my Steam time is like 36 hours. I did manage to get the achievement for completing the game in under 30 hours because of the amount of like reloading saves for when I died. So I also got the achievement for only like half a mil. So top tip for me is, or from me, is that if you end up in prison or hospital, reload a save. Just reload a save because I do not want to lose money or my guns. Like the most amount of money I spent was probably on the toll booths going between the different islands. Seriously, the only time I ever bought anything was because it was required for missions, like the suit at one point, and that's the suit I wore for pretty much the majority of the game after that point because I thought I looked quite snazzy in it. Or sorry, Nico looked quite snazzy in it. But yeah, if you haven't played 4, I definitely think it's worth a try. Definitely. It's definitely a more serious story than, say, the older games. And depending on which path you take, I don't know what the other routes would be like. I mean, there's not like a lot of story choices, but like it feels a bit like a tragedy in a way. But anyway, GTA 4 finally finished. It is Tuesday, the 4th of March, and game number 15 is beaten, and it is Mayhem Fighting? No, Mayhem Brawler. Sorry. Been drinking. Mayhem Brawler on the PC. So this is a game that was actually recommended by Linda the Gamer Gal, who also is on YouTube. She does a lot of playing games and also then shows off the games she's been playing, and she seems to like enjoy playing some of the games that I do, so she recommended this and I thought, oh, I'll give it a try. And yeah, it was actually quite fun. So it's a comic book style and it's like in a paranormal style world because you actually are part of like the police force, but it's called like Stronghold because one of the characters is like a fish monster thing, and another one is a werewolf, and the other is a psychic. You can unlock 2 others. So to beat the game, you just got to play through 7 levels, but there is I think 12 in total that can be played because there was like 3 different endings that you ending levels you can get. So yeah, so my friend who lives 2 doors up, he popped over and like whiskey and played through it. He really enjoyed it. This game is heavily influenced by Streets of Rage 4. Like even like when you defeat a boss, the way like you beat them and there's suddenly the I say ragdoll doesn't really make sense sound right, but when they like fall back and it freezes and it goes like level finished or complete or whatever, is identical like what Streets of Rage 4 does. So yeah, but it does do more than that because of like the branching paths, and enemies can have like status ailments or effects as well. So like enemies can come in and can have like a plus on them, means they're going to regen some health if you don't beat them quick enough. Yeah, it's definitely worth playing. I think I picked it up pretty cheap, but it's enjoyable, like, especially in co-op. And we're going to play through again to do more, unlock more stuff. So definitely worth a try if you're into beat 'em ups. It is Tuesday, March 11th, and apologies, the camera is really acting up and I can't be bothered to wait around for it to finish, sorting itself out. And game number 16 is finished, and it is Fist, Forged in Shadow Torch, on the PC. So this is a game which is the, as of recording, the current Club 52 monthly game challenge. So by the time this video gets released, we will have had the live stream talking about it. It was picked by Ross Bahaha. And it's a game that I have heard about before, but never thought I would actually get around to play. And it's a Metroidvania. So you play as a rabbit, and it's you live in a city populated by, they're called Furtisans, but you know, it's animals, anthropomorphic animals. But you've been conquered by Legion or robots. And so it turns out you had been one of the resistance fighters, but got retired until your friend gets captured, it's thrown in prison, so then you end up having to break him out. But yeah, the game has like a pretty rich world and story. You know, it's a lot of fun, and it's also a great Metroidvania as well. I love just like exploring the map. I would just, once I unlock something, would go and explore more. God, this camera's really getting bad. I should probably get it replaced, but this is really bad. Anyway, so as soon as I would unlock something, I would then go and explore a lot more. And so I ended up putting loads of hours of the game. I think I was like almost at 24 by the time I got 100% completion. That's not 100% achievements, by the way. I haven't done that. That's just 100% of the pickups and things. So, yeah, the bosses were a bit hard, which is partly why I was exploring so much, to try and get more health or like more EP, which is the ability to like use health and stuff like that, to try to make myself a bit more stronger. So sorry, I stayed up pretty late, like till nearly 1 a.m. trying to 100% the game last night. Didn't. I got to like 98%. I had to throw the towel and then beat it. So I actually got the credits yesterday, but I didn't get 100% until today. Yeah, so far as I could tell, there's no way to sequence break the game because it's also story focused as well. So there are parts you can't get to because the idea is that the story doesn't want you to go there. Whereas the thing like proper like Metroid games, you could break the flow. I mean, I don't know about like the Prime series. I don't think you could there, but I know like the OG ones, you could just go to places you weren't meant to yet if you knew how to use your abilities really well. So, but yeah, it's a game I would, if you're looking for a Metroidvania, I would definitely recommend it. It's really fun, really engrossing, and you know, like really scratch that Metroidvania itch. Because I haven't played a game, sorry, a Metroidvania, I don't think maybe for years, like a proper one, and this really, you know, like put me in mind of like back when I played like Super Metroid, for example. So, easy recommendation.